Hello and welcome to episode 12 of Scratch Social. Hello, my co host Paddy. How are you today?
Hello, my co-host Eimear. How are things? I'm good, sure. Flying it. Never been better.
Good, good. How I'm sure our listeners are chomping at the bit to find out about Cargate. So tell us how your car is.
I don't know how the car is. The father-in-law took it away there Saturday, but he met my wife halfway down the country. So I've a loaner. I've a Skoda Rapid, which is perilously slow. So I think they're being sarcastic when they called it that. But yeah, we'll find out how big of a dent it is into the golf trip budget this year, hopefully this week. But sure, look, there's people in worse predicaments than that.
Amen. And how has the last couple of days for you been? Mobility, golf wise, all good? We're still on track.
We're still on track. Getting a lesson about every 10 days. So yeah, it's not intense. I'm getting reps in, plenty of reps, so many reps in. And even with the mobility, I slept wrong because I'm almost 39 and had to go to physio because I slept wrong. And my left lat locked up so big, so I couldn't even turn my neck 90 degrees to the left. So physio was sorted on Friday going. By the time this podcast goes out, I'll have been to physio a second time in 4 days. But it's not stopping the mobility. We're still trucking on 5 minutes a day. It's a massive difference. The physio said it, Jez, you're more tuned up than you are last time you were here, which was about 3 months ago. So yeah.
100%. Funnily enough, I actually made an observation on your Instagram, and that video you posted swinging, was it yesterday or the day before? You're swinging very free. I honestly noticed it, and it's from the mobility. So well done.
From the mobility, and it's from the doctor, aka Ryan Gribben. So yeah, he takes hopeless cases. So he's doing a good job with this one. But you were socializing last week, were you?
I was. So I attended the launch of the Pitch Women's Academy in Dublin last week. Oh my God, Paddy. I had spoken to Pitch a couple of weeks before it because they were launching this event and they were just reaching out to people in the industry and so on and so forth. But like Wasserman came in and helped. Dervla Silk did all the presenting, the emceeing on the night. She was amazing. And the panel were really interesting. It was Stephanie Roach, the ex-footballer, Sarah O'Connor, the deputy GM of WHPR, and Anna Foster from the LET, one of our homegrown talents. So look, it was a night basically to introduce golf to women. What was so amazing was, now I thought, because women's golf is growing and it was a really wet evening and it's very hard to get people into town, especially into Dublin City. I thought they'll do well if they've like 50 or 60 people. I like that. It was a massive success. Paddy, when me and the girls from work arrived, it was shoulder to shoulder, completely full. I thought there was like 400 women there, but somebody said 200 and something. But I really think, I know I might be exaggerating, but you're literally bumper to bumper. And it was all women and Rob Hartnett. So fair play to Rob for going from sport for business. Utter respect
No
for him.
better man.
Yeah.
No better man.
It was amazing. Well done to Pitch as well, because I know those events aren't easy to run. And I really think it opened up the floodgates for women's golf. And I met a friend of mine who I played with. I met her playing in Tralee. We ended up being paired together, a girl called Liz Godfrey. And I hadn't seen her in 2 years since I met her in Tralee. We've always stayed in touch online. Actually, no, sorry, we met in Italy once at the Ryder Cup. But anyway, it was a great way to meet more women in the industry, meet new golfers, and do a bit of socialising as well. So it was great. So fair play to Pitch.
No, it's a very bougie spot, and that's a backwards compliment because I'm Irish. I've actually been to them in London a lot because the work office is literally 100 meters away, and they've run like a women's golf club out of there for years, and it's really, really successful. So it would be savage to replicate that. I think that's their plan, to replicate something like that in Dublin as well. So that's awesome news.
Yeah.
I saw in your Instagram story then you were getting the reps in with Kev. You were in the old simulator.
Oh, I was. Paddy, I'm really taking this match against you very seriously. And you know what? I've caught the golf bug again. I picked up the clubs a few weeks ago at the range, and obviously now discovered the indoor simulator at Limerick Golf Club, and it's becoming like a little hangout, a hut. We watched the Man United match. We ordered food in. We were on the simulator for an hour. And look, I didn't really have much structure to my practice, I would say, when I was on the sim. But even just to be getting the reps in, I was hitting wedges, I was hitting irons, then I was hitting drives, and just trying to find my feel again of my swing. And I looked back, I recorded a lot of my swing, and I looked back, and I'm swinging not too badly. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that at least once a week, if not 2 or 3 times.
Tells me we need to organise this match sooner rather than later. really, really quickly. All right, grab a coffee, folks. We've got a massive week to catch up on, from major Irish golf course news, shake-ups, to Scottie, well, being Scottie Scheffler being quite inevitable. So there's lots going on in this country as regards golf courses, and new ones and rebranded ones. First up, big news in the home of Irish golf, you could say. The European Club is officially gone. Well, at least the name is. It's now Brittas Bay Club. So the Collin family brought in Kyle Phillips. Do you know who Kyle Phillips is? Well, I hadn't either until I Googled him. He's the guy who did King's Barnes. And there's one in Dubai he did as well. I can't remember, but they're class.
Yes.
And they're like Yaz Links, isn't it? So like, he seems to come in and be able to give a total makeover, and just like, it's an instant classic, like turnkey wonder of a golf course. So like, people were pinging me after I played there in September and December, luckily. They're like, you know, mind the sleeper as well. They're apparently, and until we talk to, Connor might come on this show sometime, who's the GM. They're ripping out the sleepers. They're opening up the sea views, and the hype that I saw it in an article this week, because obviously the PGA show was last week, so they announced it over there. The hype is already calling it the Sistine Chapel of links golf.
Class.
What do you think of that Sistine Chapel there in Brittas Bay? I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see the merch, actually. New logos class. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think they nailed the rebrand. They absolutely nailed it. So well done to them. I was looking up the company who did it. I think they're called Matchstick Media. I hope I have that right.
Yep.
Yeah. Well done to those guys. Great. Super rebrand. Any other news down near the heart?
We've plenty news. You continue down that road. I don't know if it's an end something or an hour something, but further down the road in Wexford, Curracloe Links. Now, this has been on the horizon for a while, that this golf course is coming, but it's coming to fruition. So the hotel is already there, fully functioning. So the infrastructure is there. So for people that don't know, Curracloe Links, Wexford, Dana Fry, Jason Straka. Who are they, you ask? Well, they built Erin Hills in Wisconsin, isn't it? So where Brooks won his US Open. But it's on the same sand dunes that Saving Private Ryan was filmed, and their timesheet opened up. So again, 10 days just before PGA show, I saw timesheet is open for 2027. So that's something to look forward to, maybe to lock in. You know, maybe tell your wife or your husband or your partner or whoever you're loving or not loving to go 3 days in 2027, placehold. You know, it might take that. And lastly, on the golf course news, there is big news coming out of Meath a couple of days ago. This podcast goes out on a Wednesday. This news came out on Monday. Killeen Castle made a massive announcement on Monday. Romantic Castles of Ireland just bought in. So they are starting a huge restoration this spring. I think it's more so on the castle itself, and bringing that castle back into a luxury hotel by 2028. So between that and the Irish Challenge happening on course this year, Killeen is definitely officially, don't think it ever left, but it's officially back on the map.
Yeah, for sure. I've been lucky enough to play there. It's an amazing course. And it was, to be honest, it would always, like anytime I'd meet somebody and we talk about Killeen, everybody would always ask about the castle or mention the castle. So it's great news for them. It's great news for the area. No doubt it will create more jobs as well for people. So we wish them the best of luck. It's great news and another great destination for our tourists to visit.
Now on to the tour. So not my favourite golfer in the world, Patrick Reed, won. He snagged, didn't he? He won the Dubai Desert Classic by 4 shots on Sunday.
Yeah, he did. I know that a quote, I think he said, that was doing the rounds before the tournament started, maybe the Monday or Tuesday. If I play well enough this week, I'll cover my fines. And boy, did he do that. He probably covered his fines and his celebratory dinner that night and his flight back home.
See, but he's still playing coy in his old live contract, isn't he? He's like, I'm a free agent right now.
Yeah. I thought that was really clever of that journalist to ask, because he really put him on the spot. I don't know that gentleman's name, but when I was watching it, I was like, yes, go on. So yeah, but look, that wasn't actually the big news of the week. The big news was that poor David Puig getting a 2-stroke penalty for grounding his club.
He pulled a Dustin Johnson, didn't he? Ground his club in an old bunk here. I don't know, are they all waste areas on live or something, but poor old Puig. But he was going well. You can see he's an absolute baller. So he's clearly my tip of the week most weeks, I think.
Yeah, he's a great player. I'm only getting to know him in the last couple of months, and my gosh, he's really, really good. But speaking of great players, Where do we start with Scottie Scheffler? You know what? I'm excited to talk about Blades Brown, but let's just focus on Scottie Scheffler right now because he
I'm
did win
talking about Blades
yesterday.
Brown. He's
Yeah.
my new favourite. You can talk about Scotty, but Blades is all mine.
Okay. Look, where do we start? So I watched the first 9 holes of the event yesterday, and first time saw Scotty miss like a 2-footer for par. But then you know what? Myself and Kev were watching it and we were like, okay, this is it now. Now he's going to probably win by like 5 shots. Because every time Scotty makes a mistake, he'll bounce back with a birdie in the next hole or maybe the hole after that. Like he is just so good. And oh my God. And then when they announced the stat that he's won 20 majors and he's only 29. How is that man
Yeah,
only
he's won
29?
he's won 20 tournaments. He's not
Sorry.
30 yet, and I'm pulling these from memory. I think it's 154 or 156 thereabout events he's played, and he's won 20 times. But in the last 2 years, he's won 40% of the tournaments he's played in.
It's
It's
just,
ridiculous.
you know what's it's worth looking at, even though he is so dominant now, how many more years of dominance he still needs to beat Tiger Woods' record.
He has to be world number 1 through to 2028 or something silly to beat Tiger Woods' record. But the real heart of the week, and I'd cop this lad because he turned pro at 17 last year, and I'm like, who is this guy? So there was a bit of media blurb about him at the time, but he's on Corn Ferry Tour. But I was like, how can you not love this kid? What got me was, I saw the storylines and I thought the broadcast did that really well. I thought PGA Tour social did that really well. And they seldom do it week on week, is cover a certain player's backstory or how they got into this tournament. But what got me was I think it was on Saturday. I saw the clip on Sunday morning, so it must have been Saturday. Was as he was walking after his drive, he popped over to a kid, probably only about 5 years younger than him, and played like rock, paper, scissors with him as he walked down. I don't know if he knew this kid or if they just like, hey, rock, paper, scissors, whatever, but that was a really wholesome moment. But like, he finished high school 2 weeks ago. He was playing Corn Ferry Tour on one side of the country. They kind of documented his flight over. He played like a 4-day tour on the Corn Ferry Tour. Had to get to wherever springs they were in California overnight, and teed it up the next day. No practice round. Shot a few under par shots. 60 then course record on the Friday. Celebrate the shooting 60 with a Panda Express and a fat nap. It's what he described it as. I thought just really lovable personality, new guy on tour.
For sure. And he's super fit as well. You can see how strong he is. But come here. If you call your child Blades Brown, he is destined to be a superstar. I think his mom's surname is Blades Brown. I think that's where it comes from. It's his mom. I can't remember her first name now, but she was like first woman to score a 3-pointer in the NBA. So she knew what she was doing when she was naming her son. Destined for stardom. And look at him now.
All I can say is he better not be playing cavity backs. That's all I'm saying. Better not be playing game improvers. But you mentioned, he's beefed up. Like when I saw the social media covers of him, whatever, a year ago, he was a skinny 17-year-old kid. So when he popped up in the social media, I was like, who is that guy? He's like a mini Rory McIlroy. Like, wide in a good way. And he's clocking at 320, 330 off the tee carry. So like he played with Scottie Scheffler and Siwoo Kim on the Saturday because they were co-leading the event. And he was just blitzing past Scotty every tee shot, 20, 30 yards, which is ridiculous. And shot 4 under par while playing with world number 1. Now, it didn't happen for him on the Sunday. But what an experience. I think he finished tied 24th. But I can see plenty of sponsors' invites coming his way after Blaze Mania took over the golfing world for a week or so there.
Thought when there was a chance he might win, I kept thinking the newspaper headline has to be Blades of Glory. It just has to be Blades of Glory.
I don't think anybody copped on to that. We might take that from our podcast start this week. We'll see. News. We have plenty. I saw this morning, Solheim Cup news, but it's about the qualifying window. So what's happening with Solheim Cup this year?
So look, the countdown for the Solheim Cup is well and truly on. First of all, it's on in the Netherlands this year in one of the coolest golf courses ever. Basically, we have a 6-month countdown until the Solheim Cup is confirmed. So right after the AIG Women's Open at Royal Lytham, the window is closed for the European team. So Anna Norquist will be able to choose 4 players, basically 4 picks we call them. Leona Maguire, I think, was one of her picks the last time. and a couple of other players. Now, what we're hoping is that, you're going to have your usual. I'll just go through who currently qualifies for the Solheim
Okay,
Cup.
cool. And we can
So
keep
you've
an eye
got
on that
two
now for the next
LET
few months,
players.
who's in and who's out.
Yeah. So right now, as far as the Solheim Cup is concerned for Europe, the top two players on the Ellie and the top 6 players in terms of the Rolex World Ranking automatically qualify. So right now, if we were playing the Solheim Cup tomorrow, Chiara Tamberlini and Helen Bream from the LET would make the team. And then in terms of world rankings, it would be Charlie Hull, Lottie Woad, Maya Stark, Celine Boutier, Lynn Grant, and Esther Henselet. Now, right outside that, so that's the top 6 in terms of the Rolex ranking. You've got Carlotta Siganda and one of my favourite players on the planet, Madeline Sagstrom. What a freaking legend. So, with that, Anna Norquist is going to have 4 picks. Obviously, we're crossing our fingers that we'll see Leona Maguire and Lauren Walsh in the Solheim Cup this year. There's plenty of time to go. There's plenty of roadway, but that's how it stands right now. It's very exciting because it is going to be a bit of a dogfight now for the next 6 months. So we wish them all well, and look, may the best team be picked and may the best team win.
Absolutely. It's something I look forward to tracking for the year now, because it's a Ryder Cup level tournament. So let's try and cover who's in, who's out, the movers and shakers, and keep track of the Irish interest as well, and see how close, ideally, Leona, Lauren, Sarah, whoever, Olivia, who's in the runnings. That'll be fun to track now over the summer months.
For sure. And just before we move on to our next segment, there's been something on my mind since I started practicing golf again. And I know we touched on this quite lightly a few weeks ago, but Paddy, I need some advice, because I, like a lot of other golfers, and I'm sure a lot of listeners will go through the same pain. When I'm going to the driving range, I get so excited. I'm all geared up and I'm like, bang, I'll buy a basket of 100 balls. 100 balls now, every time. So I'll pay top dollar, whatever it is, for the 100 balls. I start hitting the balls, Paddy, and I've realised I have bought way too many golf balls. And I always end up wanting to pull back to 50. I get so bored at the end. I'm kicking them out. I'm throwing them. I'm trying to give them to people beside me. And it's just, we need to stop the urge of wanting to get a massive basket of balls, because everybody gets so bored. So what do I do? How do you manage this? How many balls do you get when you go to the range? And just give us the advice.
Okay, so first of all, anytime someone asks me for advice on golf, I say, well, you should go to your local PGA professional for your advice. I have opinions, though, so I'll give you my opinion on that. So I'm time strapped. I don't have a lot of time. So I actually went to the range on Saturday, and I had like a 2-hour window between the 10-15 minutes to get there, and I had 2 hours. For whatever reason, it worked out, and it wasn't a hall pass by any means, but I had 2 hours. And I got done what I needed to get done in about an hour. So I would approach practice in very much, well, first up, we're going to hit X amount of balls to warm up. So I start with flick, and I do it in 3 balls at a time. So anytime you see pictures or videos I put up at the range, you'll see there's always 3 balls lined up in sets of 3. So I'll hit 3 balls at a time. And then I'll go, if I'm happy with that, I'll move up to the next go. So three balls with a 54 degree, maybe 6. Then the next 3 balls is a 9 iron. I'm like Brooks Koepka in my approach, not in my execution. He only practices with the odds. Now I like to move them around. So I go 9 iron, 7 iron, 5 iron, maybe 3 wood. I won't hit driver in the warm up. So once I feel like I'm moving around, having done mobility before I've hit any ball, I might say, I'll go into a technical block of maybe 18 balls. So my new, I don't have it here beside me, my new training aid, courtesy of Mr. Gribben, is like and you see them all on tour. You see Justin Rose use this a lot. Not saying I'm Justin Rose, but it's a ball that goes around your neck and you basically keeps your elbows, keeps your forearms close together. So I'll hit 3 balls with the ball, take it off, 3 balls without. So I can still try and use that feel until I've hit 18 balls. So what's that?
18,
9
36,
balls with the
54.
training aid. Yeah. Maybe about 9 balls with the training aid. Maybe 9 balls without the training aid. I go, am I happy with how I'm feeling that? And then I'll gradually take the training aids away. I'll take the ball away, but I'll leave my alignment sticks there, and I might hit 6 balls at like 50% speed. And then I'll take out the next alignment stick away. So then it's just me setting up as normal for 6 balls. Was that good enough? Okay, grand. And then I might hit 6 drivers. and I'm done. What I do though at the end is a bit of playing around. So I like Tiger Woods' window drill. So imagine an X and O's cross, X's and O's or whatever you call them, in the sky out in front of you. Now, I don't achieve this all the time. I think I got 6 of the 9 on Saturday. So basically, you want to hit a mid-flight straight, a high one straight, a low one straight. You want to hit a fade high, a fade mid-height, a fade low. And the right-hand side of your X's and O's, a mid-height draw, a high draw, and a low draw. So I was happy enough that I achieved 6 of those ball flights. And that's kind of a mark in my head. Can I beat 6 the next day? And that's just a bit of playing around at the end. Can I hit a fade? You know, I'm 12 years old again. Can I hit a draw? And that was it. So I think I used 4 credits, which is about 80 golf balls, which is normally about 30 more golf balls than I'd normally hit, to be honest. Normally I don't do that X's and O's. Bit of fun at the end. But yeah, that's it.
Out of 12 episodes that we've done, I think that's the best bit of advice I've gotten from you. That is so good.
Whatever instruction you're getting from your pro, right? I work on that for about a third of the session. I'm still working on that instruction, but I'm gradually removing the visual aids or the alignment sticks for another maybe 20-30% of the session. And then I'm having fun for the last third of the session. I'm trying to hit shots. Or actually, I forgot to mention, I hit like 20 chips because I don't get to practice chipping. So I just put a towel down, maybe 2 inches behind the ball. And I just try and clip the ball and not hit the towel. And the ball will gradually get close. It might start at 5 inches from the towel. It'll gradually get closer until it's very close to the towel. Just to practice striking ball first.
Really good. Thank you. I think our listeners will find that very useful.
Might be some crack if we put up like on a Friday, Paddy's practice plan for Saturday. Because I don't tend to play golf at the weekends, which I will see. Maybe that might pop up now and then, Paddy's practice plan, what I'm at the weekend. Golf course under €50, Eimear, this week.
Okay. This is very exciting again because we're starting to get certain recommendations for golf courses, but we're getting like people mentioning courses multiple times now, and neither of us have played this. So this week's golf course under €50 is New Forest Golf Club in Tyrrell's Pass in County Westmeath. I think we've maybe had 20 or 30 comments of people mentioning it who've played it, members, that said.
Always been mentioned. Whether we put up this segment under €50 or an underrated course, or even on the bucket list videos, people are going, New Forest, play New Forest.
Definitely. So really, we actually need to get up there very soon. But just to give a little bit of background on it, renowned architect Peter McAvoy calls it the best site he's ever worked on. Now that is a compliment from such a great architect. It's got that instant maturity with rolling fairways carved through ancient woodlands. I love a golf course with woodlands, really, really do. And their signature par 3 9th is actually tucked inside an old walled garden. And the 8th century manor house is hands down one of the coolest clubhouses in Ireland. Just having looked at photos of it and seen videos of it, yes, I would agree 100%. Users as well, or listeners, have described it to us. It is tough, it's fair, but it's dry all year round and just pure class. So Tyrrell's Pass, golf course under €50 this week. We hope you guys can go play it.
Yeah, I actually know James, I think is the pro there. One of the pros, Santa Marisburg's there, so I'll have to hit up James. We might bring a drone or a camera around. And if it's dry all year, sure, we might as well go in February once this rain passes us this week.
Amen. Amen. Now, on to another exciting segment of the week. Your picks are popular, Paddy. They really, really are. So please tell us.
Easy, Tiger.
Please tell us your bucket list golf course this week.
I used to always take the mick between Lahinch and this golf course, asking questions like, do you prefer my home course or this course? Because it was really, are you a culture or a townie? Now, I've matured a lot, so I've stopped asking that question about 10 years ago. Portmarnock golf links has always been legendary. But in 2026, I'm making it an official bucket list must. Every Irish person should play here. Every golfer on the planet should play here. I think we're watching history in the making, because I think the R&A is going to announce it as being on the open rota pretty soon. I think they're deep into a feasibility study of that, which would be the first time it's ever been outside the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland, whatever politics you want to say, but it'll be outside those boundary lines. And the course is already dialed up to major championship standards. It's hosted the amateur. It's hosted top events, Kerry Cup lately in 2025. But the real reason I think it's the talk of the town in general is the turf. I've been on other podcasts as a guest, and they know I'm a big fan of grass. You can take the man out of Clare. But I've luckily played it a couple of times. And even when you're on the chipping green there, you just know the turf is super compact, super crispy. It's the best turf you'll walk on and play golf on. But I saw it on there's these like greenkeeper profiles on Instagram. So I think it's like Turf Talk or something. And Portmarnock came up last week as like geologically, this is the best turf you could ever possibly have to play the sport of golf on. So yeah, this isn't a culty podcast too much, but we're talking firm, tight, velvet strand fairways, and they're pure. And they always look. If you look at pictures of Portmarnock, you might be thinking they're AI generated, but that is how good the place is. I believe the members have green lighted the Mackenzie and Ebert course changes, so there'll be a couple of stunning brand new green complexes around a couple of. I think the fifth is one of them. It's the perfect time to play it this year, or indeed try and get there as soon as you can for the next couple of years. Because if it does go on to the open rota, that should be around 2030. And once it gets announced, you will struggle to find a tee time. It will be near impossible once it's announced on the rota.
Yeah, brilliant. I haven't played there yet, but I am planning to play it very, very soon with my work colleagues. So that's exciting. My boss, Cian, is a member of Portmarnock. So Cian, if you're listening, I'm still waiting.
No blackmail. No emotional or corporate blackmail, Cian. Don't worry about it. I actually owe Cian a tenner. I owe Cian a tenner. He doesn't remember this, but I'm true to my word. And at the Women's Irish Open last year, he asked me a question about where the Irish Open would be hosted and would I think it would be hosted there this year. And I was like, absolutely not. No way. No way will it be hosted. He goes, no, we'll be down there. It says tenner says it won't. It says tenner says it won't. So yeah, I owe Cian a tenner. Well, I send that to him in Revolut or in Just Eat vouchers. How does he want it? Or like a running hat, knowing him running his marathons.
Yeah. Enter him to a race.
Let's move on before I get you a P45.
You any other golf news for me? Did you buy any new merch? Looking at anything?
PGA Show was all over my feeds, of course, last week. The PGA Show, for people who don't know, it's the biggest trade show in the world. It's in Orlando, Florida. It's generally the last week of January or thereabouts. So it's a possibility for me to go because it's the end of my corporate job's fiscal year, maybe next year. Place where all the brands go. So your FootJoy, your OEMs, the TaylorMades, the Callaways, the big dogs, and the small dogs. So the startups. A little company called Grayson was at the PGA Show about 6 years ago, launching. And Seed Golf were over there. There's many an influencer over there. So what I saw, which was interesting, was Full Swing looked to be all over it. Full Swing is what they use on TGL. Full Swing is kind of the market competitor for TrackMan and Foresight. But it looks really interesting. It's a cheaper alternative. It ain't cheap, but it's a cheaper alternative. They just released the TGL courses on them, apparently. In other news, Platform Golf, which is quasi-Irish, co-founded between Gary and TJ, who is 99.9% Irish. They announced a brand new partnership. Rory, I'm so bad. He looks like a Gary. He looks like a friend of mine whose name is Gary. So Rory, who is a stalwart of golf industry and tour life, and TJ Hackett is Platform Golf, and they announced a partnership with TrackMan. Really good news coming out of there. So Platform Golf, if you can encourage your PGA Pro to get one, then get one. Because we all practice in simulators and on ranges, generally Full Swing, and it's very tough to practice your putt. Just Google Platform Golf and come back to me, folks. Okay? It will blow your mind. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a great product. And to be fair to the lads, they are working so hard, flying all over the world to sell that product. So fair play to them. I went to the PGA Show 2 years ago, just when I'd sort of like switched my career, joined Forefront. My God, was I a deer in headlights. I did not know what I was getting myself into. I thought it would be like a standard massive trade show in London or Dublin. It's that times 50 because you're in America. It's absolutely class. I would recommend everybody go to the PGA Show at least once, but you need to know what you're going for. I just went because I was like, I'll learn about the golf industry, try and make a few new contacts, and sure, I was all over the shop. But Dean from Seed Golf very kindly invited me to an evening they had at Top Golf over in Orlando, and we had a great day. great evening. So that was fun. But yeah, it's good now. The PGA show FOMO is over though, I must say, because I just saw it all over my feed as well, as I'm sure a lot of people did.
But no, I can't wait to go. If the side gig, if the third side gig takes off over the summer, then I'll have to go. So yeah, we'll hopefully figure that out.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Up and down of the week. It's such a good segment title. It deserves to be in a polo shirt or a mug. Eimear McManus, what's your up and down this week?
My up is that my colleague Ruth reminded me we've a bank holiday next Monday, so I'm booking to play golf. That's it.
That's a fantastic up. That's a fantastic up.
And when she told me today as well, we were on a call and I was like, yes, I have my up for my podcast now tonight. My down is that I still haven't engaged a coach, which I'm working on this week, and I'm going to engage one very, very soon because it's high time now. And I always take your advice in terms of practice and performance, etc. And I do just need to get my local PGA pro. So announcements coming very soon.
Advice and opinions wouldn't be it wouldn't be maybe best practice, but opinions maybe. Up and down of the week. My up, I think up is definitely you. I'm really enjoying trying to get better. I'm really enjoying the whole process of making time for mobility instead of making an excuse that, I just don't have time. Making time to get to the gym. So like it's Wednesday. I've already mapped what days I'm at the gym. This weekend I'm at work and family. I've already earmarked a 30-minute slot to go on a quick walk, which some people call jogging, but I wouldn't class it jogging just yet. So I'm really happy with, I'm making the time to execute on what I want to do this year. So that's good. The down is, the shoulder came out of nowhere. The down is that I'm approaching 39 years of age and sleeping wrong can leave me indispensed for a couple of days. But on the opposite side of that, my hoop tells me I'm down. I'm not 39. I'm 39 too soon. So yeah, the down is I'm human, but the down is also telling me physio. Like last year, physio should be preventative, so I should be clocking into physio maybe 2 to 3 weeks because we're going at it hard, going at it real hard the last few weeks. So yeah, but all good in general.
Good, and we have another exciting week of golf ahead. I'll tell you all about it on next week's pod.
For people who want more than the podcast, let us know where maybe you want us to go play this year. We have a weekend earmarked in May to go somewhere. We're locking in a couple of places. But if there's somewhere you'd like covered, let us know. See, can we get it onto our agendas this year? Or if it's your home course and you want us to come say hi, we'll 100% do that. I love a good coffee. But that's another week. From me, Paddy.
And me, Eimear.
We've been Scratch Social. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.